Fast. Email resume to John, SIMO, at midamsteel.com.
Yo, 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 it's time to start the show. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to thank everybody for joining us on this cloudy, humid afternoon. We've got our wonderful, talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. We've got Wonder Boy Meteorologist, Justin Storm, and myself. It's Tuesday, right?
Indeed it is. Dean,
right.
It is Tuesday.
And the dog days of summer have definitely arrived. We got some cloud cover out there right now. Temperatures across the area, generally mid to upper 80s. And even a few showers on radar right now, stretching just north of Jamestown to just west of New Rockford, up through, about Bottineau, and up into southern Canada. And they're moving slowly eastward. Not really worried about that batch of showers. It could let off a light shower or sprinkle this afternoon, but after about 6 o'clock tonight, a more vigorous upper-level wave is going to come through the area, and that could trigger off some stronger storms. Not a guarantee. I think this cloud cover is going to play a little impact. If we would have had more sunshine, I think our threat for severe weather would have been a lot higher as we head into this evening, anywhere between about 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock. If we do get these storms to pop, that would be the time frame, and some of those, again, could be on the strong to severe side. Hail, damaging winds, the main threat. And then those are out of here by midnight, a quiet night. And then tomorrow, and even hotter, temperatures in the mid to upper 90s tomorrow. And again, another good chance for strong storms tomorrow evening. We'll keep a close eye on that. So dog days of summer are here, and it is definitely feeling humid out there. Dew point's at 70. Anytime that dew point gets into the mid and upper 60s, it's uncomfortable. Anytime it gets to 70 or higher, yeah, it's air you can wear. It's that humid. And Bridgette is on the road again, and she's in lovely, comfortable, non-humid San Diego. Is that correct?
Bridgette, you're muted.
We cannot hear Bridgette.
Hold on.
There we go.
There, now you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would turn the camera to show you the view of from my room, but that would just
might be
torturous,
copywritten,
so I'm
though.
not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna show you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm in
funny,
San
funny.
Diego. I'm at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association summer business meeting, and I just attended earlier this morning the Region 7 meeting that includes the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Kansas, and had an opportunity to listen to their business. Their opening session is starting about now. Sorry, I'm going to miss that, folks, and we've got a show to do, but I'll pick things back up this afternoon, and also I will be doing some social media work with them because of promotion of the back porch, and we can talk about what the back porch is today while we're on air in our show. I can explain some things that will be going on at the Cattlemen's Association meeting that comes up in February.
And have you been to San Diego before, Bridgette?
Yep, this is actually my third trip.
Okay. Have you made it up to La Jolla?
Not yet. I would tell you that if I wasn't busy working, I would maybe sneak off to the USS Midway because it's about 3 doors down from me right now.
Nice.
And there is a rumor I might be going to Coronado for supper tonight. So we're just going to see. I'm going to try to take in all the fun things. And then tomorrow I hop on an airplane to meet you all just north of Sioux Falls, South Dakota on Thursday for Hefty Seed Ag PhD Day.
That's going to be a hot, think of all the corn sweat this year. Oh, man. That's going to
Yeah, guys, you're going to
I
sweat
think
a lot.
I
Wear a
feel
lot
a
of
cold
sunscreen.
coming on.
you you can't. You're my ride home. So you have to be healthy.
We'll think of something here.
Yeah.
Amtrak run that far south?
Again. I'm going to have to bribe him again. What am I going to buy him this time?
Just get him some beer. He'll be happy.
Well, that actually
You've
did
been
work.
pretty busy the last
week.
week, Bridgette. You started in North
I
Dakota,
have.
you went to Scotty, you were over in Illinois, then back to Scotty. Now you're out in
Mm-hmm.
California, and then you'll be in
Mm-hmm.
South Dakota. What comes next
Yes.
after that? Are you home for a while, or you got
Then
more business to take care of?
does home count just being within the state borders of North Dakota, or do I actually have to be at my own house?
We'll count North Dakota as your house.
Perfect. Then I'm actually going to be in North Dakota for a couple weeks. How's that?
Hey,
'Cause
that's good. I'm glad to hear.
no problem. Next week, Wednesday, I will be in Washburn for Winfield United's Answer Plot Day. And the week after that, I'll be spending quite a bit of time near Spiritwood, North Dakota for some plot tours. So, yeah, there's a few things going on, folks.
Cool. Well, why don't you tell us what's going on over there with the Cattlemen's Association? What do they got planned and any events going on?
Okay. So there's quite a bit on their agenda this week, but a lot of this is business and policy work because this is the time of the year that they're trying to prepare for not only their national convention, which brings in all sorts of producers from around North America. That will also be held January 31st and then the first couple days of February of 2024. But right now, they're also working on things that go to Capitol Hill legislatively. One of the biggest discussions is going to be with cell cultured meats. How to define those, what's going to happen with them. We know that they're eventually going to arrive on grocery store shelves. There will be folks who have an interest in them. They are still looking to be a minor player. Even when they are fully scaled up to capacity, they're looking at maybe only 60,000 pounds per year of that meat to be produced. It's got a lot of controversy behind it. Some call it a frankenfood. It really is being taken from the cells of live animals, and then the meat is grown in a lab, and then it can be manipulated as scientists so choose. My understanding is there's also a lot of work being done at the University of Minnesota on some of these food science projects. But it certainly is something the cattlemen talk about because they want to make sure to promote their product, which is fresh, healthy beef right off the hoof.
Petri meat.
Petri meat. That's a way to describe it. Yes, that would be one way.
Have you tried it? Have you had it before?
Well, cell cultured meat hasn't been available yet to try. I have eaten plant-based meats. So if you think about the Impossible Burger, that type of thing, I did try one. If you were to take an Impossible Burger and a regular Whopper and did all the same things to it, right? Cheese, ketchup, mustard, etc. So they're going to taste very much the same because of all of the additions to it. If you're used to eating really good regular beef, you're going to notice a big difference. But if you don't normally eat good beef, you might not be able to tell the difference between the two.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to open up the phone lines to anyone that wants to join in on the conversation, ask some questions throughout the show. It is Tuesday, so I'm sure we'll hear from John by the end of the hour. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Again, that's 701-293-9000. You can also reach us via email at weatherorag@flagfamily.com or the comment sections on Facebook or YouTube Live. And you can also watch us over there on Acres TV. And we got a few topics, and by few, a lot of topics that we're going to try to get to today because we don't have a guest. So it's all catch-up work from a handful of topics that we haven't been able to get throughout the year. Or maybe I should say the last few days.
So
because ain't no way we're hitting all those topics.
I'm like, how far back are you going to surprise me?
Why don't we whip one out from a Thursday in March?
Oh my.
Do you still got the details up there, Bridgette?
Maybe. This is, boy, if it's going to stump the chump, I am definitely on the chump seat today.
We'll just focus on the last couple of days because you were gone on Friday and Monday, and yesterday we had a few members of the North Dakota Soybean Council in with me. So we'll hit a couple of topics from today, yesterday, and Friday.
By the way, Justin, we're good. When we get into our next segment, you're going to have to recap what happened when you had all those guests in the studio yesterday because I was in an airplane. I haven't gotten to hear the audio back yet, so I'm kind of curious what went on yesterday. What kind of shenanigans did you pull when you were in charge all by yourself when Dean and I were off and running somewhere else?
Well, I wanted to play some shenanigans, but I didn't feel like they would play with me, so I just
Oh,
didn't.
He was behaved. That is a change.
I was behaving. I was on top
Wow.
of it, and yeah, it went all right. We can touch on that when we come back from our break. But a few topics we'll try to get to throughout today. We'll talk a little bit about how wildfire smoke is affecting crops, seeding potatoes in central Minnesota, changing the hydrological cycle. That sounds like a big one, Bridgette. So we'll hit that one. And also a few topics from yesterday that we weren't unable to get to. That's the Ukrainian and Russian grain deal is falling apart. We'll touch on that. A little bit of reducing risks of wildfire. And also there's been some visa changes that are affecting farmers. So we'll touch a few of those and a few other topics, as well as a couple checks on the forecast. And as well, if you got any questions, you want to just join in the conversation, i.e. John, 701-293-9000. Stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Boost your crop's health with Domark 230ME and Badge SC fungicide exclusively from Gowan, USA. Domark's systematic action teams up with Badge's outstanding mixing properties for unbeaten disease control on sugar beets, dried edible beans, and canola. Experience the power of two different modes of action with Domark and Badge. Don't wait. Contact your local ag retailer and ask about Domark 230ME and Badge SC. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Keep your cool while the kids are out of school. Get a Kingpin Summer Bowling Pass and enjoy unlimited daytime bowling all summer break. Kingpins features hyper bowling, a new way to play. Hit the lights, earn multipliers, and score thousands of points. The kids, the family will love it. A summer bowling pass at Kingpins is just $30 per person. A summer of fun for everyone at Kingpins. Head to kingpins.com for more info or come and play for yourself. Find them at 3485 Jacks Way, South in Fargo. And it's time for the ultimate taco bar for lunch at Barron's. It's all-you-can-eat taco bar Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. for only $10.99. Kingpin Summer Bowling Pass and all-you-can-eat taco bar at Barron's. This is the summer we were looking for.
Hey, Ronnie, grilling season finally here this weekend. I'm going to sit on my deck with a cold beer and watch Alex grill some meat.
Speaking of meat, Jay, our great friends from Meats by John and Wayne will be giving away a meat bundle this Thursday on your show. All you have to do is listen for the call-in song and be the 9th caller.
Ronnie, there's a reason those guys have been voted best butcher shop in the Red River Valley since 2016. Meats by John and Wayne. All your meat needs.
You're invited to worship with us at Olivet Lutheran Church in Fargo. We offer a 9 a.m. Sunday traditional service with communion where all are welcome to participate. If you can't worship with us in person, you can always watch live or later on our YouTube channel. Following worship, we have time for fellowship with coffee and donuts and light service projects like packing up food for our food pantry. For more information, go to olivet.org. Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church on the corner of 13th Avenue and South University Drive, Fargo.
Hi, I'm Dana, mom of a happy, loving 4-year-old, thanks to Siriset. Before seeing Dr. Alla and the Siriset team, my son struggled with anxiety. He was withdrawn, had frequent meltdowns, and worried a lot. After completing my own sessions, I knew that Siriset could help my son. If you or someone you know is suffering with anxiety, I strongly encourage you to call Siriset today at 701-566-5231. Thank you, Siriset, for saving my family.
Looking for more than just a job? How would you like to start and grow with a company that is family-oriented and offers great pay and benefits and room to grow your career? Plains Grain and Agronomy has immediate positions available for a precision ag service technician, general laborer, custom applicator, and a Class A truck driver at their locations in Enderlin, Marion, and Mott, North Dakota. Plains Grain and Agronomy looks forward to visiting with you. Apply online at plainsgrain.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming July auctions include 33 acres of potential development land north of Bismarck on Highway 83, 800 acres of exceptional cropland in Ward County near Minot and Deering, North Dakota, 21-acre farmstead near Brookings, South Dakota, 622 acres of crop and pasture land in Renville County near Glenburn, North Dakota, and the Erickson Farm Retirement Auction near Hettinger, North Dakota. View these auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pfeiffer's.com.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. So again, want to thank everybody for joining us on this Tuesday. 86 degrees. We've actually dropped a degree in the last hour due to the clouds coming in, but dew point is still up there at 69. So it's a humid afternoon and a few showers out to our west, out around the Cooperstown area. Very light. That stretches even further west, Carrington, New Rockford area. Seeing some light shower activity. And again, can't rule out an isolated shower this afternoon, but there is a chance for some stronger storms after 6 tonight. But I think this cloud cover might hold some of those back. But it is Tuesday. And you know what Tuesday is, right?
Conspiracy music.
And we have John on the line. Well, it's like if you say John's name 3 times, he appears, right? Is that how it works? And
at least his voice.
Justin summoned John. So, John, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus.
Well, I was having a hard time hearing Justin over the roar of my truck and the air conditioner, but I could have swore I heard him mention something about derailing the train and John.
I think it was something like that. Now, why would he say that?
I don't know. Dean, I'm jealous that the text I received from you the other night about the wet Italian beef sandwich and the peppers. I've got at the risk of gunfire, since you were in Chicago.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do to get the old good Italian beef in Chicago. And if you have to dodge bullets, you dodge bullets.
Yeah, it seems to me like one of those necessary sacrifices. So this morning, I was looking through my box of pine nuts, and it appears a bunch of them have changed to a different color. So I would guess that with the absence of chemtrails today, that I'm going to go with the pine nut forecast and say, yeah, we're going to get some rain.
So we're going on pine nuts instead of chemtrail spray today.
Well, it's kind of like Bridgette did a quote-unquote cattle convention in San Diego, which to me just screams phony farm convention, excuse to party it up on the boss's dime. Just saying.
You can say that, but that's not how I'm seeing it. I just want to go back to the fact that you talked about old
going
pine
up
nuts.
to another city for dinner. I mean, Bridgette, yeah, pine nuts. Do you not
John,
know
I'm
the
not-
ancient art of pine nut forecasting?
I'm pretty sure I
So
don't.
like the
I'm
weather
not sure
rock?
that I want to. And yeah, is this like the weather onion to go along with it? Because none of this sounds real
when the
anymore.
pine nuts dry out, it's hot out.
Exactly. It's like the weather rock. It's like the weather rock. My weather rock is still 100% accurate.
Now, John, Bridgette did send us a picture from down in beautiful San Diego, and you can definitely see this is Chemtrail Spray Tuesday. You can see they are taking care of that in SoCal. So, although you can't see
that's
it,
a cloud.
that looked like a
cloud.
supersonic jet chemtrail spray to me. But
Well, they're probably trying to grow cattle in San Diego because, gosh knows, there's so much commercial grazing land in the San Diego metro area. Just
Did
saying.
you know? Did you know that actually California has some of the largest milk cow production out of the entire U.S., John? It just might not be in San Diego.
Yeah. So why would you have a cattle convention in San Diego? I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like having a tin toilet seat convention in Nome. Just saying.
I think the answer to your question is everybody needs a convention center that's big enough to host it. So as soon as you go call up the Fargo Dome and see if you can make it big enough, I'll see if I can get them to Fargo. Thanks for calling, John. Have a good day.
See you later. Bye.
Oh, man. It's always, you can always count on John calling on Tuesdays. So.
I can't wait
it.
till we get
I
to talk
love
to
it
him
so
again.
much.
Now I have him
Next
on the large convention center committee.
We should ask him what he thinks about that UFO briefing that they're doing. What is that? It's some briefing that they're hosting here in a couple days about all the UAPs.
Oh, are they? Okay.
You heard about it? Both of you haven't heard of it?
I've heard. Yeah, I heard. I was reading an article on it that actually
I've been out of town.
A former Navy jet pilot said that they're ultimately concerned about how many they've seen and yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, they call it the one of them. I think it was from 2004. They call it the Tic Tac video, and it was a U.S. Air Force jet interception with one of those UAPs, and they can't explain what the plane was seeing.
Well,
I'm going to be listening to it. It's right up my alley, so I'm going to be listening to it.
Feel free to send the recap. You'll be fine.
Sure will. Yeah, definitely will.
Let us know what happens.
So speaking of what happens, I get this. I've had this question a couple of times about the wildfires and why or if it could be affecting some of our crop and garden production. So Justin, do you think your garden's plugging right along at the rate that it should, or do you feel like you're falling behind in any way?
Oh, my garden is excelling right now. My tomatoes are just hit 5 feet. My peas are a little over 5 feet tall. The beans are about 6 feet tall. Got a ton of cucumbers and buttercup squash that are growing as well.
Oh, good, because I was going to say height is one thing, but if you don't actually have yield, your foliage is kind of useless. So glad to hear that there's actually
wonderful
stuff. Good. Well, we do have folks that are concerned about that because we do know that with the wildfire smoke that we can see some of that reducing sunlight, which we need for our crop. We can see that we're holding back in some cases growing degree unit days if we've had really heavy smoke and cover. But for the most part, I don't think it's affected our crop tremendously yet. If we had ash literally falling from the sky or soot that was falling the leaves and wouldn't wash off or blow off due to the wind, then that would certainly hamper the plants. They couldn't take in oxygen and water. And Justin, you've most recently been out to our field. Things look good though, don't they? Even with wildfire smoke affecting us lately.
Yeah, they do look really good. They dodged all the hail, and the soil is very dry, but you probably couldn't tell based on how the crop looks. I mean, in my opinion, it looks like it's handling things just fine. They're about anywhere from maybe 8 inches to 16 inches tall, maybe a few a little taller than that, and a lot of them got flowers, and a good handful of the big ones have already got beans growing.
I'd like to take a look at the field next week when I'm back because we do have areas of west central Minnesota that are already finding heavy populations of soybean aphids. So if you took a soybean leaf and flipped it over and found little yellow aphids on the back, if you can count 250 aphids per plant in your field, then it would be time to spray. That means your beneficials haven't been keeping up with them yet. But I'm not sure if they've moved across the river. I know that there's been some spraying in the Uland, Minnesota area for soybean aphids, and we're going to have to start looking at our field too, just to make sure that everything's going well. But that's one of the duties I can do when I'm back next week and check on our Here We Grow project. Again, for those who just tuned in, that's our 20 acres of custom farm soybeans that we're going to harvest at the end of the season, and our profits are all going to the Great Plains Food Bank right there in Fargo. So it is bottom of the hour. It is 1:29 in the afternoon. Folks, we're going to be right back and keep visiting about what's going on ag-wise and what did Justin do while Dean and I were gone? And maybe he did a bunch of stuff on air. Maybe he wasn't even on air and we don't know, but we'll find out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Does cold weather hold you back from getting your corn planted each spring? I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company. Our Hefty brand 40 series corn is the industry's only corn recommended for soils as cold as 40 degrees. How? We We pick seed with the best vigor and highest cold germination scores. Then we treat every kernel with Hefty Complete Seed Treatment, providing even more protection from cold soils. In fact, we're so confident in our 40 Series corn, we back you up with a free replant policy. Plant 40 Series corn first. Plant 40 Series with confidence. Only at Hefty Seed Company.
The 21st Annual Cruise to Castleton is Thursday, July 27th. The free show features hundreds of classic cars. Shuttle buses will run from the school parking lot to the show, with raffle tickets sold for a 1941 Chevy two-door sedan. Sponsored by
Butler Machinery, The Foss Shop, Gordy's Travel Plaza, Z's Grub and Pub, and Kiefer Tree.
Find out more online at swanks.org or Swanks Car Club Facebook page. The 21st Annual Swanks Cruise to Castleton, Thursday, July 27th.
The recent hailstorm came fast and furious. If you know or even think your vehicle acquired hail damage, bring it to Bailey's Auto Body. Hi, I'm Kevin Bailey, and I want to invite you to stop by for a free inspection. Our staff is trained to identify all types of hail damage. From dents to damaged moldings and glass, we are your hail experts. We specialize in paintless dent repair and have repaired thousands of vehicles. Free estimates, no appointment needed. Bailey's Auto Body, north of the Cass County Jail, or online at baileysfargo.com.
Just take it to Bailey's.
Fun times at Sweet Shots any day of the week. New at Sweet Shots is Tuesday Sweet Taco Feast, featuring build-your-own tacos and 2 pounds of potato jolays that feed 4 to 6 people for just $60. Thursdays, there's live music on the rooftop terrace. Monday is half-price gameplay, 5 to close. And Wednesday, get 2 pounds of wings and 2 pizzas for just $45. And every weekday is happy hour, 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. with $3 house wines and White Claws, $4 taps, and half-price apps at Sweet Shots in Fargo.
Help Fargo become the home of the world's largest axe-throwing festival at Fargo Billiards and Gastro Pub on July 27th through the 30th. There's a national axe-throwing competition, knife-throwing, dart and cornhole tournament, live music, and a comedy show. So see some of the best axe throwers in the world compete and enjoy all the action of the Far Throw Axe Throwing Festival. Don't miss it at Fargo Billiards and Gastro Pub, just west of the I-29 on 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there!
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem. Rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Every dead body tells a story, and someone needs to speak for the deceased. Streaming exclusively on BritBox, Amelia Fox returns in the new season of Silent Witness, one of the original forensic crime dramas. For over 25 years, this long-running series has drawn in millions of fans and has earned its place as a staple of British crime drama. Stream the new season of Silent Witness only on BritBox. Undeniably brilliant, undeniably British. Free trial at BritBox.com.
To WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Justin Storm. Oh, no, kidding. Justin Storm is our meteorologist. Dean Wysocki is our chief meteorologist. And I just tag along for fun as the ag director. I'm Bridgette Readel. So thank you today to our Here We Grow sponsors. That would be Invita. Invita is a nitrogen-based product. It actually brings nitrogen in through our plants and helps them produce more in the field, whether it's with your corn, your soybeans. Thank you to ABCs for providing Invita for our plot for Here We Grow, and also Titan Machinery. In fact, we're looking forward to seeing the Titan Machinery folks on Thursday in Baltic, South Dakota, because it's time to do another video and take a little look-see at what they have going on for their equipment lineup and all the good fun things that they should get to show us. just never know what we might get to do. There's a ride and drive. So plan ahead, guys. Maybe you're going to be driving equipment in the field and we don't even think about it yet, right?
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Gene, can you
I think it'll be
operate
a good day.
a tractor?
If my feet can reach the pedals, sure.
Don't worry. If mine can, you can.
Good point.
The seats move.
Yep.
I can see
It's
it
okay.
now. Dean's in the tractor. Why are there 6 pedals if there's only 4 directions?
Right. We're not going to need a booster seat. It'll be okay. So Justin, we've been gone for a few days. What have you been doing without us?
I've been enjoying my time away from you guys.
Wow. That was about as
I'm only kidding.
That was about as rude as Bridgette was to John. I mean, wow.
I'm sorry, John. Sorry, John.
Oh, let's see. What did I do on Friday? I don't even remember what we did on Friday.
Well, what about your guest yesterday?
I think our show on Friday got canceled because of a news conference. And then yesterday I had 3 guests in me. That was Miki Mahigali. I can't pronounce her name. I'm so bad with last. I'm pretty sure it's Mahigali. As well as Dallas Loff and Dr. Joe Eichley. And Miki and Dallas were members of the North Dakota Soybean Council, and Dr. Joe Eichley is with the extensions for weed specialists. So we were talking about different herb-resistant weeds and what you do if you come across those. We learned that you don't have to report it, but it's courteous to do so because it helps the North Dakota Soybean Council kind of keep tabs on where it's at, as well as some of their research that they're doing to how combat it, and also what kind of research that they got going on and some of the new things that soybeans are finding a use for, including different renewable fuels and different products that you might not have thought could be used by soybeans, including some of the soybean-based plastics that are being made.
Okay, so
it was really
you had a
interesting.
researcher. You had a researcher, a weed scientist, and a soybean farmer. How did everybody feel about
and
your
he's
65
also
bushel
the
prediction?
I didn't even bring up 65 bushels with him.
Oh.
And Dallas, he's the what's the word? Representative for District 1 down to our south.
He is, yes.
I didn't bring it up, but he said that he thought the crops were looking good around his area, and he's just hoping we get timely rains throughout August to kind of make the crop.
That'd be awesome. I think we're all in the same boat waiting for a little rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully we get some tonight, tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday night. Yeah, four back-to-back chances for isolated showers. Hopefully we get hit with one.
Okay, guys. I want to ask about a long-term question on weather, though, because I have heard this, and I think I've heard you allude to it as well as Darrell Richardson, that the chances are, even for the next couple of years, we're looking at more drier conditions. Am I jumping the gun and saying that's going to be our cycle for a short-term pattern for a couple of years, or do you think we're not there? What any helpful hints for us in that regard?
You want to jump on that, or you want me to?
I think it's too early to jump the gun on something like that, but I can see why he would think that with the transition out of El Nino. Usually would bring in a little bit more
warmer, drier
along those lines.
Yeah.
But I would think it's too early to exactly be able to tell on that, because every single year we'll get a different LRC cycle, and I mean, sometimes you go against what your La Nina or your El Nino is predicting, or what it would indicate part of the regions would trend to be more drier or more wet. And look at California, they weren't supposed to get much at all, and they had record snowpack.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So it ultimately really just comes down to how the cycle unfolds in October and November, and then what influences there are at play on the LRC cycle. And that's what I think would ultimately tell you, but we don't really have an idea what next year's LRC is going to look like because it hasn't happened yet.
Right. Yeah, we're too far out for that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, that's perfectly stated. I was going to say the same thing. Each year is different. If you have an El Nino or a La Nina, this year we'll have an El Nino pattern, which typically is a little drier for us. But again, we don't know what the cycle is going to look like come October and November. So, if we have a very dry, if we have a very dry October and November, then it might be one of those dry El Nino years. So
absolutely,
we'll see what happens. But we have an email question, Bridgette. This one goes out to you. The emailer says, I know some stuff is going on with Summit Carbon CO2 pipeline. Are they still trying to use eminent domain on farmers' lands, or did that all get sorted out?
I don't think that's sorted out yet. I think that's still pretty messy. That is certainly a hot button topic. A little bit out of our immediate counties. I know most of that's going to be discussion that's happening in Emmons County, McIntosh, and down into South Dakota, and especially in South Dakota. I got to think it's McPherson County that is the one that has the most concern with what's going to be crossing, and they have a group of landowners who's very upset with some of the use of eminent domain that's going on. This pipeline is pushing along further than I anticipated it would, even with the resistance that it's had, but there certainly is positives and negatives on both sides. I'm not going to weigh in on the politics of it all, because that would take us another 2 hours to get through the discussion on that pipeline. But for the most part, I don't think that's settled by any means at this point. Folks are still having ongoing discussions about what's good and what's happening. And in fact, this morning on Bonnie and Friends, they had an attorney in from one of our client sponsors who talked about questions to be asking and paying attention to if, in fact, you're approached through that as a landowner and what that might mean for you. So things to keep in mind there for sure.
Cool. Now, why don't we hit another ag topic? Talk a little bit about seed potatoes in Minnesota, Bridgette.
Okay, so anybody familiar with the name R.D. Offutt and potatoes? Okay, so R.D. Offutt Company raises a number of potatoes over in the Perm, Minnesota area. They have slightly sandier soils and also some irrigation. And what you might not realize, though, is they are doing their own seed potatoes for quality control. And it helps them not only with quality, but their biosecurity, making sure that they have not gotten any disease in there. They produce seed for about 10 other RDO farms across the Midwest. And on top of that, they send several thousand tubers to Hawaii every year. And there they again are tested by the Minnesota Department of Ag to make sure there is no bacterial, fungal, or viral disease. Anybody know why we send potatoes to someplace like Hawaii to raise them?
Because it's very humid.
Well, it's certainly warmer when we have snow on the ground. So actually, a lot of the major corn and soybean seed companies do winter production in Hawaii and Puerto Rico. So if you're looking for that internship project you've always wanted, you too could go to work for those companies in Puerto Rico and Hawaii. Usually they're about a 2 to 3 year stint, and you spend time over there working in their greenhouses and so forth. More about what RDO does over here. Well, they're raising those seed potatoes, and they really are doing at least 5 years of work in the background to bring that spud to fruition from the time that they design it, so to speak, to bring it forward. And really, they're also doing a lot of work to make sure that they are doing best water quality practices. They have drain tile, like we've learned about with our sponsor Ellingson, and more. So those potato guys, they have a lot of time and effort involved in order to raise that crop. Just saying.
Sounds like it. Wow, I didn't know they did that out there. That's kind of cool. Interesting.
Yeah. And Bridgette, you were talking earlier about, and I was reading this article earlier today, and we also have another email question I'll get to. You were talking about plant-based meats and all that, and I didn't know they had this out. I haven't seen it in the stores, but plant-based milk, they said this market is really starting to explode. But the problem is that they don't have as much nutrients as cow's milk. Well, go figure. I mean, so
and it's going to be different, right? Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a shot in the arm for the dairy industry. You know, it's like, hey, you're not getting your same.
And we just talked about this. There are folks that like the idea of using the almond milk, etc. So at this time of the year, especially, fluid milk consumption is down. Schools aren't in session, so we're not using as much at schools and universities. But overall, we're not drinking as much milk as we used to on a whole as Americans. But you know what we are doing? We're eating the cripe sakes out of cheese and yogurts. So we're still consuming an awful lot of dairy, just in a different way. So we talked about it all through June. Have some ice cream. It's a great treat.
Right.
And why not get a little dairy in at the same time?
And what other plant-based milk? You got almond milk. Obviously, that's sold in the stores. What other plant-based milks do they have?
Think of like oat milk.
Soy milk. All right. I haven't seen oat milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen oat milk, especially if you go to some coffee shops. You'll probably see more oat milk being used there. And
I don't hang
I've
out at
even seen
coffee
those
shops. It
milks-
tends to get me in trouble. So
It did the last time.
It did. Yes.
It'd be different if I actually drank coffee, but I go there for the donuts. So there's my trade-off.
Hey, quickly, we're talking about having ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream, Dean?
Oh man.
Yep, on the spot.
It's either going to be
go-to.
it's either going to be chocolate or strawberry, one or the other. But it's got to be fresh strawberry.
Like fresh out the Turner?
Not you get chunks. I mean, actual chunks of strawberry in there instead of strawberry flavor. Yeah, there's a big difference.
You want chunky,
yes.
like peanut butter.
Yeah, that or chocolate. You can't go wrong with that.
Okay, Bridgette.
I'm going to be a little more complicated. Shocking, I know. All right, so if we're talking about hard ice cream, maple nut. If it's homemade ice cream, I make mint chocolate chip because I get the mint out of my own garden. And if we're going to do soft serve, I want a twist. I want the chocolate and vanilla together.
Justin?
Wow. Rum black cherry.
Rum black cherry. And where do you
that's
get
my go-to.
Notice he.
Is it store-bought? Is it homemade?
You can get it at the store, but I haven't seen it of recently. I just went to the store 2 weeks ago and I couldn't find it in the ice cream aisle.
I figured maybe you just took some black cherry ice cream and put it in the blender and poured some rum in there with it. That might happen.
It hasn't.
Look,
it happened.
Look, I'm not your priest or your mother. You can do these things if you need to. It's fine. I'm not worried.
I don't mix booze and dairy.
Probably not a good.
I'm weird like that. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't.
You've never had a grasshopper?
I mean, yes, but I stopped. Yeah. I've tried it, and I just quit doing the whole cream and liquor after I've seen what are they car bombs or what are they called?
Irish car bomb.
I don't know. Watching the cream curdle at the bottom of the shot glass just kind of ruined it for me.
I just want to point out that I was able to take ice cream and bring it, by calling it a grasshopper, bring it all the way back to something agriculturally related.
Right, there you go.
Win for me.
Gold star. Well, we're running up
Speaking of something, you want? Yeah. You go, Dean.
Yeah, well, we're running up on break, so we got to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got an email question, and I think this is directed at me and you, Justin, about climate change and a comment that a high-ranking official just currently put out on Twitter, and they wanted our thoughts.
We got a serious situation.
They wanted our thoughts on that, so we'll talk about that coming up after the break.
You go with what works, you trust your experience, and make decisions based on proven results. That is why ag producers like you have chosen Dakota Bank for over half a century and made us one of the largest ag lenders in the nation. Hi, I'm Chad Prewy, ag banker with Dakota Bank in Fargo. No matter the challenges, we are here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business by financing your operating needs, improve your land, or purchase equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with allies, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, trust and insurance are not FDIC insured.
Hi, this is Christy from the Hot Tub Store. Melt away your stress in a Caldera spa. A daily hot tub ritual can help you feel calm no matter what life throws your way. Stop into our showroom and see how we can improve your wellness. Financing is available. The Hot Tub Store, located just south of Costco. Check out our website, thehottubstoreND.com. That's thehottubstoreND.com.
The Hot Tub Store, 815 23rd Avenue East in West Fargo, right across from Costco. The Hot Tub Store.
Summer is officially here, and if you're like me, household projects are the last thing you want to be doing. Hi, Nancy Kelly here from Labor Masters. Labor Masters provides last-minute help in the FM and Lakes area. When you think summer projects like painting, remodeling, landscaping, call us for an extra hand. We're locally owned and even guarantee our workers. Call us at 701-566-8755 or online at labormasters.net. Labor Masters, get the quality, reliable help you need today.
Boost your crop's health with Domark 230 ME and Badge SC fungicide exclusively from Gowan, USA. Domark's systematic action teams up with Badge's outstanding mixing properties for unbeaten disease control on sugar beets, dried edible beans, and canola. Experience the power of 2 different modes of action with Domark and Badge. Don't wait. Contact your local ag retailer and ask about Domark 230 ME and Badge SC. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Grain markets mostly lower on Tuesday. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. We're talking now with Arlen Suderman, Chief Commodities Economist at StoneX. Arlen, we look at the grain and oilseeds first. We saw a pullback overnight here with Russia pausing some of their attacks on Ukraine's grain terminals. We got the hot weather in the forecast here in the Midwest. I know we're watching. We have the Federal Reserve meeting ongoing starting today. A lot going on here. Corn and Chicago wheat, though, have been doing their best to try and come off of those overnight lows, haven't they, Arlen?
Oh, they certainly have. The commodities faced a little bit more headwinds as we came into today's session with a stronger dollar, interest rates rising ahead of tomorrow's Fed announcement, where they're expected to raise their interest rates another 25 basis points. But basically, we ran out of the buying in the grain and oilseeds because Russia did back off and hit the pause button on their strikes on the infrastructure in Ukraine. And so that kind of allowed prices to consolidate back, pull lower. We did see some strength come back into the markets, pulling them off of their lows, and Chicago wheat actually moving into positive territory off and on reports from British intelligence that Russia is putting mines back into Black Sea waters, near Ukrainian waters, possibly targeting civilian ships in a way that Ukraine would get the blame for it. So what that says is the war is escalating, and that continues to raise the risks for all commodities coming out of that area. But still, we're overall still in negative territory for the day.
All right, thank you very much. Arlen Suderman with StoneX. We see in the grains, corn and Chicago wheat trying to get back towards unchanged, but the grains down moderately, soybeans down around a dime. Mixed action in cattle. Hogs are triple digits higher in the front months. Crude oil up 68 cents a barrel, 79.42. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. 1:52 in the afternoon. So we got a few minutes left. Got an email from, it sounds like John, but I don't think it's his email address, but I wouldn't be surprised. So John says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it's John. The emailer says, Dean and Justin, what are your thoughts on climate change? Recently, an article was put out, and I did dive into the article to read it. He gave me the link, that Hillary Clinton said that if you want, in regards to the heat wave that's going on in our country in the desert Southwest, with Phoenix recording a record number of days above 110, and Hillary Clinton said that you can blame a MAGA Republican for that. And this was all over Twitter, I guess, and a climate scientist actually chimed in and said that, that's a very valid point, with the exception of what about 1925? What about 1930s? What about the early and mid 80s? And this climate scientist was just going on and on and on that, it's summer, it's heat. So this emailer wants to know what our thoughts are, me and Justin, on, is this due to climate change, this extended heat wave, if you will, in the desert Southwest? And I'll give my 2 cents. No, it's hot. It's summertime. There's a ridge that's parked over the area. It's going to get hot. I think this climate scientist, this climate change stuff has got to stop being politicized. It just does. It's getting to be nonsense. I mean, and even the climate scientists, this stuff has been going on since the 20s and the 30s. I mean, this is really nothing new. Is it a little longer than, are we breaking a few more records? Yeah, we are. I mean, there's no way around that. But so that's my 2 cents on it. Emailer, who we think is John. Justin,
who
what's
we think is John.
What's your 2 cents on this? I hate seeing this. I hate seeing this being politicized. It's not helping matters.
I will agree with you on that. It needs to stop being politicized. And is climate changing? Yes, climate is changing. Are we responsible? Maybe, maybe not. Are there cycles that go through that have been happening for a very long time? Yes, there has been, and they're going to continue to cycle. And it would probably also help if our climate averages were more than just a 30-year time period, because climate should be taken over a much longer time period than that. And we go through these waves, we go through these cycles. You get a hot year, you get a colder year. I mean, it's even just since 2000, we've been bouncing back and forth from cool years to hot years to cool years to hot years, active, severe weather, not very active, severe weather, a lot of hurricanes last year, not a lot of hurricanes, even though it was predicted to be one of the busiest years on record. It didn't happen. And we go through these cycles, and a lot of people will say with the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere breaking that 400 parts per million or whatever it is, they're like, well, it's never been this high before in years or whatever. I don't know what they say about it, but that's that magic threshold is 400 parts per million. And you can go back through ice core sampling and ground core sampling, and you go past a certain date. I want to say it's 100,000 years ago or something like that. And carbon dioxide levels were over 2,000. And I think they average over that whole time period higher than where they're at today.
Well, that was due to the cow flatulence back then.
Yeah.
So, it's
okay, guys, just so you know, John let me know that that's not his email. So we cannot incriminate him on that one. It wasn't him.
Should we be afraid on why does Bridgette have John's phone number? Why does John have
She probably bought a lawnmower from him, just like you.
That's a good point. So that wasn't John's email. Okay,
that wasn't John. But also, like every morning, I give out my email address, ag@flagfamily.com.
Good point.
We do it here.
Very good point.
We say the Red Wing Shoe hotline at 701-293-9000. And I've had my same phone number, my mobile phone number, since 1997. Who doesn't have my phone number these days? I mean, let's be real.
Like John will text you constant.
He emailed me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, at least that way you can just say you didn't see it. It's hard to do that on the phone.
After I was rude to John, I thought I better respond politely in his favor. So there.
Oh,
just
man.
saying.
You want to hit a couple of ag topics, guys, or you want to do a recap of the weather?
What you got? Yep.
How about the Ukrainian and Russian grain deal falling apart? How is that affected prices yet?
Well, it's not going to affect prices yet because we're going to have to get ourselves through harvest before anything really shows. Right now, we still have been moving some of the grain from 22's crop, and so what happens right now always shows up later in the processing as that product moves through processing. There's a whole lot of finger pointing, who did what, who did this or the other thing. We know that the real bottom line here is that countries in that area that typically buy from Ukraine are now going to wind up buying on the global market. They'll buy a higher quality grain, but they will be paying more money for it. And that's going to be unfortunate. It will affect the food costs for those who can't afford it the most, is really the whole situation. Russia says if their demands are met, and I can't even keep up with who's demanding what these days in politics, but if their demands are met, they are willing to work with the UN again in the future to try to create another deal like they had. We'll just see what that looks like. But currently, they're still trying to fight it out and blame each other for whatever is going on over there.
And I know we had one of our guests on. We were talking about it was one of our representatives. We were talking about the Farm Bill, and he thought the Farm Bill would be extended. So and it's supposed to be done in October or.
Yep,
is that right?
September 30th. So it's supposed to be ready for Q4 this year.
Okay.
There's no way we're going to make that October deadline. We've heard that from commodity groups and legislators alike. We fully expect there'll be an extension of that, which means they'll extend the current Farm Bill, because if they did not have a Farm Bill in place without an extension, we would revert back to the most recent Farm Bill, which was the 1930s.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work.
Ooh.
It would be, some may think so. It would be a little bit of a challenge, though. I'll say that much.
Right. Okay.
That'd be a little challenging.
Well, a quick recap of the weather here. We've got clouds over the area, and we're really not going to break out of them. A mainly cloudy day for the rest of the afternoon. Some light showers on radar, stretching from just west of Cooperstown up through Devil's Lake. Those are moving eastward. Could see a few light showers, but a better chance for some scattered storms after 6 o'clock tonight. So we'll be watching radar for you. That'll do it for us at Weather and Ag in Focus, the Jay Thomas Show. It's coming up next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1, WDAY, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo.